What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Study Hall here on TCGU University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and I'm joined by the OG cast,
James
and Tyler.
What Study Hall is for the unenrolled, we've taken a bunch of your guys' UniVersus topics, as well as some of our own, and we sit down and we discuss them for your amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. So, with that said, a little housekeeping before we jump into it. If you like the show, please go out to patreon.com/TCG University, YouTube or Facebook, all at TCG University, and support us out there. The more that you guys can help spread the word around, the more that we get to grow as a channel, the more cool things that we get to do. We've been doing campus championships and deck profiles and TLDRs and all of that.
Off to like playtest, but
we did took this past week off as well as this upcoming week off. So the next half a month, we're not going to have any profiles or whatever, because we want to go and do our absolute best at Worlds. But if you want to go check any of those out, there are playlists in the out on the main page of the channel.
Hey, buy our merch. We do have merch.
In addition to that, we also want to tell you that the show is out on podcast services like iTunes or SoundCloud or Spotify or Google Play or so on and so forth. If there's anything out there that you want to listen to a podcast service on, our podcast, as well as the Magic, Final Fantasy, and soon-to-be Weiss Schwartz podcasts out, let me know. Shoot me a message, and we would love to get us out there. Big shout-outs to our Patreon sponsors: Clay Cardwell, Jay Rogers, Jarrett Hubbard, Jerome Weeks Jr., Justin Farce, Kat Maria, Kevin Broberg, Lucidia, Samantha Stevens, Teodoro Ruiz, and Tyler Zane Pease.
Samantha Stevens sponsors this podcast?
Yes, she does. Big shout-outs to all of those kids, as well as our sponsors for the week, Cards Custom Build and Inked Gaming, but I will tell you about those later. Fellas, how was your week in UniVersus been?
I got new sleeves for my deck.
Did you, though?
I did. I got new sleeves.
You did get new sleeves.
Doesn't mean I get to keep them.
You do not get to keep them.
I messaged fam to ask them how strict they're going to be.
Yeah?
I think they're going to be super strict.
I think they should be. I think
they should be too.
That is the definition of cheating.
The pink sleeves are sick.
Oh, man. You're going to check a 5.
Maybe.
Yes. You're
going. I know the information. Yes.
That's what matters.
Do you think I pay enough attention?
It doesn't matter. You could potentially pay attention. That's what matters.
Do you think I could potentially pay attention?
Agree? Yes.
That was the weirdest. That was the weirdest. Yes.
My sleeves get through.
What's wrong with your sleeves?
Are the blue ones kind of see through?
Only in the most slightest bit.
Are you
like glares?
Are you playing UniVersus cards?
Yes.
Huh.
So we'll see. I think it's okay.
I'm just going to end up having to de-sleeve my team's deck and then just sleeve my singles deck.
That might be what I have to do too. I have black sleeves and I know those will work.
Yeah.
So
and you looked at the purple ones.
Yeah, everybody's grabbing black sleeves now.
Like I hate it so much because white's my favorite Dragon Shield color.
The katana sleeves are perfect. Straight up.
So here's the thing. I almost bought like the Eclipse, like magenta, like hot pink looking color.
Ooh, yum.
And that's what I wanted. But I was like, no, I really wanted these pink ones to work, and they didn't.
Yeah. Shucks.
Yeah, and I hate matte, so I just can't buy the Dragon Shield mattes.
So, oh really?
Yeah, I hate matte.
Oh.
I've always hated matte. I use them when we do the Campus Championship because it's fucking incredibly hard to find regular sleeves. Yeah. And I just don't want to have to like every single time we go to record, spend an hour and a half down here funneling through the shit pile for sleeves.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, I'll remind everybody at home, we have gotten a new computer, and so we are a little technologically limited. We can't pull up cards, or if you notice, there's no lower thirds.
Step back to take a couple steps forward.
Yeah, so the next couple weeks is going to be me, who is very technologically challenged in order to try to figure everything out and get us back up to speed.
Some of us are technologically inclined.
Are you?
I'm pretty good with technology.
Fucking figure it out then, James. How's your week in UniVersus been?
Been good.
Somebody bought sleeves, and that's all they told me.
Yeah. I also got. I didn't buy the sleeves.
Oh,
he didn't either.
You just stole them?
No, we had sleeves bought for us.
Our cool Patreon sponsor, Samantha Stevens.
Big shout out to the Patreon sponsor.
Bought us all sleeves. I offered to buy you just sleeves, but you guys said you didn't want them.
I think both my teams and singles deck is figured out.
Yeah, we talked about it. I guess I also have my teams and singles decks figured out too.
I also have my teams and singles and Sam Tate's team deck figured out.
Spoiler for the team's format.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I am so fucking jittery with anticipation. I just want to play games. So yeah, let's jump into it.
Okay.
Let's jump into it. James has some shit that he wants to get off his chest. James Stevens.
This game fucking sucks.
Okay, all right. Let's expand.
No, that's the end of the topic.
Let's expand upon that thought just a little bit. Tell me why.
Okay, so
tell me why
I'm
you're so
trying to
upset.
find the post so I can get it like as directly as possible because it makes it easier to be able to like directly read it. But my phone's been like
Then I guess I will
not
stall.
performing well today.
Jed is gonna go win this event, dude.
Yeah.
That's
It's
not
gonna be
true.
hype.
Yeah.
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 I believe it.
I
don't.
think
I think it's gonna lose to
I
Amy.
mostly believe it.
you mostly believe it.
Yeah, I
Give me
think-
give me a percentage.
80%.
Wow, that's really high.
It is.
Thank you.
80 to 85.
What's the
85.
percentage that Amy wins?
Find your
Um,
post.
So like the
Find
only
your
time
post.
I've ever faced Amy was when I was like 0% scared. So like 50 maybe.
Wow. 0% scared, 50% win rate. I'm in.
Man, I'm about to make him scared to make this thing 100.
Did you find it?
I found the post.
Okay, cool. Get it off your chest.
Okay, so Darian Fitzpatrick, shout out to this guy.
Big shout outs.
Posted in the UFS community North America chat
On
or
Facebook.
The Facebook.
You should go join that if you haven't.
100% for you, Tommy.
Huh?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
What?
Nothing.
He passively aggressively attacked me from the other side of the table
Oh. Glad to
with
have you
his
guys.
words.
Glad to have you guys back on the
I
cast.
didn't hear him.
Go ahead.
I just know he did it. Okay, so he put, let's be clear. There's stuff going around that floating bonuses are applied to an attack on declaration instead of when it is checked for and played. I can't find anything in the LGR. Does that mean I have to waste my TK mastery on an attack that could just fail? The answer, unfortunately, is yes. You have to play TK mastery before your opponent even passes their check.
Huh.
I just thought about this. Who
Yeah.
the fuck cares? Because if they fail the check, their turn's over.
Well,
Here's the thing. Do you want to waste checks?
Sometimes.
Well, here's the thing. If you only have so many foundations to play and say it's actually doesn't matter, but could matter, you have to make the choice between do I do it or do I not do it? And you have to make this choice
I see.
before
I
their
see.
card comes in. They
I'm
play
back-
any other
I'm back in it.
abilities. Before anything else happens, you have to figure out, am I going to want to use TK here?
also, it's not always the case where if they fail it, their turn's over. There are some cases where the next card that you play, if it fails, their turn's not over, right?
When is that at?
So I'm not
Akuma?
positive that it can happen
Akuma?
necessarily, but there might be some case where. Oh, you ready? So the one that I have is Balecore's Trophy Room.
-4 to the next
Negative for their next check. If
And
they
it doesn't
fail
end.
it doesn't end. And so you would have to then use your TK Masteries on this card, and then they choose to fail it, and then they play another one.
Okay.
Shit.
I guess. I'm
And
back in
like
it.
wasting
I'm back
checks
in it.
isn't good. We've actually had the conversation before where playing TK Mastery on every chance you get is terrible. It messes with deck ratios. Check all your attacks. Check all your good cards.
Yeah.
Like it just doing it every single chance you get is just terrible. But when
So
you
why
kind of
why
force-
is it that this happens this way?
from my understanding, it's because all the floating effects activate on the attempt of playing the card.
Okay. Which is why cards like Stink Gas work and
Yep.
cards like the Bakugo low attack explosive.
So like to me, this is where I
Charge or
get
whatever.
I get upset because like we have two different sorts of keywords in our game. Or like I'm saying this in sentences. It's just like for Stinkcast, it says the next attack you attempt to play
Yeah.
is an ally. Do this thing. Mm-hmm. Reduction just says your next attack.
yeah.
Like to me, those are two different things. To me, an attack and an attempt are two different things.
So
to me, like an attack is I passed all my checks. We're moving on.
So here's the question then. You ready? So in that same vein, I play reduction in my card pool.
Yeah.
I play my next attack, or I attempt to play the attack. You make
Yeah.
your TK checks.
Yeah.
I multiple out that attack. Do I have to TK check right there?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to TK on the resolution of the multiples.
Which means
For like reduction purposes.
correct. Which means that the same way applies to randos checks as well as
For like multiples, yeah.
Liu Kang multiple 3 card.
Wind will punch.
Yes.
Yeah.
which
Would you do
means
it-
because hold on, the static wouldn't apply to itself before it's in the card pool, correct?
No, because the static won't activate till it's in the card.
Till
pool,
it is a
unless
card?
it specifically like references itself, kind of the way like Steel Resurrection says -1 for all the weapons.
Okay, so
Unless it
we would
specifically-
get to wait.
Unless it specifically references itself, as far as I know.
But if they played another 3 damage attack afterwards, before it happened, because it's already in the card pool, it would then get the plus.
Like if they had already played.
If they have it in the card pool and they attempt to play an ice ball,
Yeah.
you would have to check for TK beforehand. Before it was successfully
Before
played.
Ice Ball made the check.
Yeah.
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 So why is this not a good thing?
Why is this not a good thing?
Keep going.
The reason I don't think it's a good thing is because it stops the game in motion. Like the game we haven't done anything in the game. The game's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a middle state of the game where nothing goes on.
Okay.
The thing going on right now is resolution of abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, like the only windows that matter there are I gave negatives to checks, things on attempt to play, stuff like that. Like so like the example Tim Keefe gave was like the where breaker hits is the same window technically.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. I get like that's how the rules work. I don't think that's how it should work because breaker and damage are two different things. Damage is applied to an attack directly, whereas breaker is applied to the check of a next thing. If I remember correctly, breaker directly says next card you attempt to play.
Okay.
Which would also, in my opinion, be two separate things: attempt to play and play.
So the issue that you're having is the word attempt.
The issue I'm having is the word attempt means nothing.
We could go back to the same type of argument that like should and could mean the same
Yeah.
word in our game,
Oh,
right? Which is, they don't. They're two different words, and so it's just maybe it's some text, some things that like the design team can clear up.
Like
with-
I would just like to me that's a small fix of just slightly separating those because like playing something and attempting to play something are two different things. We directly have a lot of abilities they attempt to play and Nick's when you play things. They are directly separated. But for whatever reason, the window for when things activate is the same for both.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they should be. If they're treated as two separate things, like the example I have in my head is not Poker Alice, the other one. It's the one where she's laying on the lawn chair, face card. The one discard one card to get
Not
+1.
my problem.
Yeah, I think so. That card is an errata that says the next card you attempt to play.
Yeah.
Because the ability is discard one card. Your next check,
Difficulty.
the difficulty of your next difficulty to play an attack gets -1 for your next attack. Your
Yeah.
next attack is -1 difficulty. So like, yeah, it's a lot of words. Sorry. The next attack you attempt to not even attempt to play. That's the new word. The next attack gets -1 difficulty. That means if you failed that check, or like they do something to make you fail it, that still exists. That -1 still exists, which is why they changed it to attempt to play. Mm-hmm. Why would they change it to attempt to play if it didn't matter? If the resolution of that effect happens right there?
That is a fair
Like,
point.
because for whatever reason, I guess it also still carries over because of the way it's worded. But like, I don't get it.
So then the fix is that they just changed the rule on floating effects to apply when the attack.
They apply to
played?
certain zones.
Well, now hold on. Let's
You split up the zones and how things activate.
let's actually talk about like
Because like one of the things we talk about for like if we wanted to build a game around this is there's too many windows.
yeah.
In my opinion, right here's a problem where we don't have enough windows. So like there's only one window. The window is window opens, do everything, window closes. There's not multiple windows in through this step where I did a check. The check gets the effect for the check gets applied here. I check for a thing here, check for a thing here, check for damages, whatever. All those activate in the same window. Mm-hmm. Whereas, in my opinion, it's I made a check, I've played a card, play an attack. Like they're like multiple things going across it.
So let's talk about. It's in the game. It's here until somebody decides to change the rules. I'm not even going to say. I am not.
No, never Yokohama.
We have a comment. We're live right now. $1 on Patreon.
James sucks.
LMAO God, James is not good at explaining his thought process. I totally agree.
I'm James, and I agree.
It's what are the pros to having it be in this window? That's the question. Like, I want you to dig deep, Tyler. Like, why would we want the rule to stay where it is, as opposed to James who wants to change it?
I'm gonna find this post one more time because there was a bunch.
I don't think it should stay. That's what I don't know.
Okay.
Do you all?
I also think it should leave. I think it should leave only because like it just makes
it's complicated.
it also like makes it so you can blow past response windows very easily, and then like somebody could hard rule shark you
Yeah.
and like get a warning immediately, and now the rest of your day is off kilter because you have to sort of play around it.
And at the same time, like, this isn't necessarily an easy rule to understand.
Right.
It is not a simplified, I could go teach my niece how to play UniVersus type rule.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet I could explain, all right, now that the card is in your card pool, it now gets all these cool stats. I mean, that makes sense to me. But like, I actually think the best reason that this exists is the mind game of forcing my opponent to actually think about their TK checks.
Sure.
Like, do I want to check this or not?
Yeah.
What is the point of this happening? And then my opponent gets to see, is this worth committing or not? Maybe if I check a bunch of 3s and I decide to commit up for it, then yeah, it's worth going for and continuing my turn. If I check a bunch of 6s and he's like, no, that's fine. I'll fail it. And so it kind of lets my opponent have a little extra information before they decide whether they want to commit to this card or not.
Sure. And you can force it in a direction that you want.
Yeah.
Then, like,
Which is good, because like the game should want to reward the aggressive player as opposed to the defensive one. If you reward the defensive player, then the defensive player who's having to do the hard work of not dying is like getting extra rewards. And that means that now every game is going to go to time. Like,
So
that's a topic to itself, though.
the other thing I'm devil's advocate on my own topic.
By all means, I love
is,
that.
breaker. So like breaker directly.
Mm-hmm.
If you play a reversal, that breaker if you don't play a reversal, the break. So like when you block, it burns a breaker, right?
Correct.
If your opponent plays a reverse on you, if we split it up, it wouldn't, because it doesn't get applied to a certain card. It would get applied to the attack, or it would get applied to a formed card.
Well, you just said that
wouldn't
the
burn-
next card played.
Yeah,
It would still apply because it was played.
But I'm saying like the window. Like if we change the windows, and like you would have to change the way certain cards would work. But like breaker gets applied to the next card, which is why it gets burned on the thing. So like if we changed it, I lost it. Tim Keefe was talking about it.
Yeah, I can see how that's relevant. I can see how that's relevant, but I think and I don't want to say that like, hey, it should be changed, because I'm not a rules guy. I'm not a rules guy at all.
To me, it's very confusing.
I think that's like the biggest takeaway is make sure that everybody
Because like I explained this to you as it's like a level 3 rule.
yeah.
Like it's a third layer rule of, hey, I know the
Ryan, if you're watching, here's your first level 3 rule. Here you go. Here's your
Hey,
grandmaster. Your black belt test. Sorry.
Hey, I know the basics. I can play UFS.
UniVersus.
Hey, yeah, sure, whatever. Hey, I know a lot of complex interactions and the way things work. To my knowledge, I can play at a top level UFS.
UniVersus.
Hey, how
does TK Mastery work on attacks?
like, and then like that's what it is. Like you got like, I think like it's like 60. In my opinion, it's like 65 to 85% of people understand the level 1 rules. Then you get, in my opinion, like 25 to make maybe 35 understand like the level 2.
Yeah.
And then you hit like 5 to 10% that can understand these level 3 rules.
Hey, that's the point of being a
Like,
black belt.
I just find it to be,
Oos.
it's really rough.
I think I like the fact that the game can be this complex. I do like that fact. Like, we can have this big debate. Like, I think that's cool. I'm not over here trying to just kick sand, you know? I'm like, I'm not over here playing paper, rock, scissors. I want a complex game. It's just, it's not, as somebody in the chat, Yokohama said, the perfect word is intuitive.
I think that's
It
Travis.
is not.
Is that you, Travis?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think I know who that is, but
Ooh.
I don't want to.
Sorry, you keep going. I haven't read, like, there's some new stuff that I haven't read.
We're not. Well, you can do it.
It's super interesting.
You can do it right after the show. I'll even remind you. Here, read post. Because James, we gotta get to the. All right, we'll wait. You want to read out loud? Would that be better for you? Read out loud. Read out loud. Read out loud.
So
you get one thing.
Mayorga posted into later on. This is way past when I was reading.
Yeah.
If their attack in TK Mastery means the same as your opponent's attack in the LGR, then TK does not even trigger for things like reduction and windmill because the bonuses are technically applied outside of the attack sequence, and it's not yet your opponent's attack. Then he references the LGR. You guys would get bored at that. Then we go through a bunch of things, and at the bottom,
he knows me so well.
And then we get to the bottom. Robert Schneider's like, not gonna lie, this is my favorite take. Has LGR references, could conceivably be correct, and if true, is a disaster. A+ for me. Like end to end, you don't get to respond. Like get to the end of this line, just you actually don't get to respond TK on reduction.
So
Doesn't
here's what I want. Here's what I want. I would love for Ryan Pham. I understand this kid. He's not busy whatsoever.
Not at all.
He does
have nothing.
He doesn't have a huge tournament happening at the end of the week. He doesn't have none of that. None of that. It is he's got so much free time. He's ripping his own hair out. Mm-hmm. I would love for Ryan Pham to do a video or have a post about this and be like, "Hey, idiots, this is how TK works with this dumb card. Here you go, TK reduction. What the fuck happens?" I'll be down. So that then we can steal his content. Thanks, Dad. So we can steal his content and make a TLDR about it. That's what I want. Over here at TCGU University, plagiarism is key.
That's how you pass classes.
Absolutely.
Initially, in my opinion, this wasn't a TLDR. It was people don't know how to read rules.
Read the card, huh, idiots.
Well, like the original post was like, how's not Inhuman Speed, but Jogging Form interact with reductions, where this started.
Yep.
This started like a post before this. Was Jogging Form and reduction. In my opinion, that right there is nowhere near TLDR because that is responding during an enhanced step, and reduction gives at the beginning of before the attack.
No. That's not even an attack yet.
Yeah,
it's just a card. This is big chillin'. We don't even know. We have no idea what it is.
So like that was the original post.
Does that mean that reduction gives 2/2 to every card because we don't know it's an attack yet or not? All
So
right.
like
we're gonna get off it.
So then we have to get into attack states.
Okay.
Back to more level 3. Back to more level 3 shit. Where everything has values and not or not valued.
Can I TK your foundations?
No, they're not attacks.
But what they would get 2 damage. Go ahead.
So like it all goes down into values or not values. Things in your deck have values, but not maybe attack values. They have values like checks, things like that. They have it's a foundation attack, stuff like that. Because you search your deck and you find those. But like they might not have attack stats or attack values that could be referenced by certain cards. So, like you can only give damage to an attack that has a value for that ability.
Okay, so here's the question. Here's the real NASA nerd.
Sure.
And I want you to give me your gut feeling because I don't care if it's right or not. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's say we put the split cards back in the game. We've got foundations that are attacks.
Okay.
If I played the foundation and I have reduction in my card pool, does the bottom half get the stats? Because in my deck it has the value of if the bottom half is an attack card.
Oh, so like, are you talking about playing the foundation as a form?
I'm playing the foundation as a form while reduction's in the card pool. No,
because you're not playing an attack.
But it has a value in my deck as an attack.
Yeah, but it's not valued while in the card pool. So like, we're going more level 3 shit here.
Level 4, baby.
Well, no, it's still level 3. We haven't jumped to level 4. I don't think there's much level 4 right now. So like every time a card changes a zone, or basically like gets a refresh, this refresh states. Yeah. That's the reason why
How refreshing.
That's the reason it gets the stats is because from your hand it has like little to no value, but when it reaches the transit zone, it gets its first initial card state.
Yeah.
Like actual card state, and that's where it refreshes the entire game state for itself.
You following?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it gets all the stats, which is where it happens. And then when it hits the card pool, it hits another refresh state because it finished changing zones,
right,
and created another state.
Okay.
So like so it doesn't get the reduction, gives it in the transit zone, and then one little.
So
zone
then
later,
we can respond with TK Mastery
in the transit zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the foundation does get the stats.
Like as of right now, the way we know it is you have to respond to TK before you play the attack. Before the attack even hits the card pool, you have to play it.
There we go. We
That's
can now
the way it is
respond.
now.
But we gotta have split cards from back 1,000 years
But
ago.
those also won't work because when a card doesn't have a value, the way you're trying to play reduction doesn't have value till the card becomes the thing. If you're not playing the card as an attack, it's not going to gain those values.
Why not?
Because it doesn't have those values for that.
I don't.
Well, wouldn't it get the values?
I'm
in
bored.
This area, and
But
then
so
when it
like,
hits
wait,
this area,
so like the way the double-sided
Dude named Danny, I'm down. It says my brain, ouch. Let's move on.
No, but it's like the way the double
You
cards.
get 30 seconds.
Okay, so the way the double cards worked is when you play them, you declare how you're playing it. The same way you play form or response. Like if somebody blocked with like if you on your turn your opponent reversal and you blocked,
Mm-hmm.
you get the choice of I'll respond reversal, or you can just let that pass and go I'll just play an attack.
Okay.
You get both those windows you get
Yeah.
to choose from. It's slightly the same, but you have to make that decision at the start.
Yeah.
Do I want to play the attack or the foundation? And you basically declare it. So before it hits the transit
30
zone,
seconds is up.
before it hits the transit zone, you decide attack or foundation.
So here's my next topic. Here's my next topic. I was watching a video. It was very insightful. Maybe if you want to do a write-up on how this most hypothetical thing would happen, please do so. I'm not going to record it, though. So here is my next topic. I was watching a video of a very famous, some would say the best, Super Smash Brothers Melee competitor that there has
You're watching
been.
Xbox?
Armada. So good, he quit the game to save it. So good.
I think he can come back now.
And he was watching a video, and that video said something along the lines of the Marth beats Fox and Falco, and Fox and Falco beats Sheik,
And Falcon.
and Sheik beats Marth, and he wasn't sure which way the arrows went. And as he was watching this video, he paused it and stopped, and was basically like, I think you should go check the thing.
Give it a second. I think it just started back up. I
Okay.
think we're fine. When the stream thing popped up, I think we were good.
I think, and he said it didn't matter which way it went, this way or this way, because when you got down to it, matchups don't matter except for at the super high level. And so for all of you, he didn't say this, but I'm paraphrasing, all you fucking baddies that are watching, don't worry about bad matchups.
Yeah.
It's not so tough. And I've heard a bunch of the people say in the bunch of professional Melee players say like, this is where is, here's my matchup, it's 80-20. Here's my matchup, it's 60-40. Here's my matchup, it's like, this is what my matchup is. I don't need to work so hard.
60-40.
And so my question
every
to
day.
you is UniVersus a skillful game? Is there that the matchup doesn't matter at super high level? Is it what is, how do you feel about the word skill and our game in the same sentence? Because I feel like there's this rhetoric of this game's not very skillful. Like, it does not take a lot of skill to play this game. You just, as we made the joke, you just play missile launcher and kill them.
I've talked about it a few times, like this week, just like outside of videos. It's just like I feel like skill is very slowly going away in this game.
And so that is where like half of this came from, is like what are the skills that you think are going away, and what are skills that are still in the game? What's still being played?
So I don't think skills are leaving the game. I just think skill is leaving the game. I don't think it's
plural. We
Yeah,
just dropped the S in that
Yeah,
sentence,
yeah.
and that's all that happened.
I don't think skill as a concept is leaving the game.
Okay.
My bad.
So
yeah.
we have been asked to define skill. What would you define skill
Define
as?
skill. Define skill would be using your brain to solve puzzles.
Okay.
We basically, like, Yu-Gi-Oh joke here. Build a puzzle, solve a puzzle. Like, it's sort of the way the game works. It's always the way the game works. Just the puzzle is constantly changing because it's a actual two-player game. You both are solving and building a puzzle at the same time versus each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tetris.
Okay. Continue. I'm listening.
So it's like I'm not saying that individual skills are leaving the game. I'm saying that we're not losing like the ability to block, do all this. I think people are getting bad at it, but like I think that's just like I was saying, skill is leaving the game. As better stuff comes out, it's becoming easier to just go, hey, I played a missile launcher and I won. I dropped a missile launcher, I won. I played coffee stomp, I stunned you out, I won. Like, it's not that the skills are leaving the game, it's that the skill needed to perform at such a high level is not really needed anymore.
Tyler, what's your opinion on this?
I think that this is a very skill-based game. I think that this game is so heavily responsive that if you don't have a base level of skill and an ability like make the right decisions in terms of like blocking or responding to the right thing or predicting what might happen, I think you're going to lose a lot more games than you're going to win. I think all the top players are very good at prediction.
Prediction.
I'm hella good at prediction. Hella good.
So I guess like my question there would be, and
I actually kind of agree with dude named Danny. 20% skill, 80% luck.
I actually think it's like way closer than that. I actually think it's like super 50-50. And maybe even pushing more skill than luck, honestly. Because like the skill is not just inside of playing the game proper, right? And chat, let me know if we're still live. I'm getting some issues. My thing about is it's not just skill inside of playing the cards. Yeah, there's something to be said about just like, oh, I jammed out, and the easiest card to say this with is I jammed out a missile launcher and just killed you with it. Well, that's just like, then prep for that. Like, part of the skill is you just asked me, do you want to take out Nightmare Terrors? Well, is that a skillful move, knowing that you could just die to a crazy big low? Like, what are inside of playing this game, it's not just about what cards do I play. What are the 7 cards do I play? I have to know what cards they're gonna play. I need to know what cards I'm gonna play. I need to know what outs I have in my deck. I need to know not just what your deck does, but the other 6 rounds that I'm gonna be playing. That is all included inside of this quote unquote skill. Thing's super long.
So like,
it's super easy to look at the trees instead of the forest and go, this game is not full of skill because you make the same plays over and over again and you lose to the same card over and over again. You see how many fucking cards we have in that box. It is not about like draw 7, kill you. It is about how do I make my deck. That is just as much skillful as it is the planning, the preparing. Just jamming a missile launcher on turn 2 is only seemed unskillful when it works. Otherwise, it's a shitty play. When you check the 3 on turn 1 when you were supposed to jam it out, like you lost.
I don't think that's true at all.
So it's all dependent on luck stat then? When skill goes down, you have to have a high luck stat?
Well, so like we're playing a game where skill and luck go hand in hand.
Right.
Anytime skill goes up, luck has to go down. Anytime luck goes up, skill goes down.
Well,
it's the way the graph works. You have 100% of this graph of just it's all skill and luck. When something is more skillful, it's less lucky. When it's more lucky, it's less skillful. Like as much as we don't want it to be as a black and white right there, that's what it is. Our game is both skill and luck. So when something's more lucky, it takes less skill. When something's more skillful, it can take less luck.
But so we're not rolling dice.
No.
We're not rolling dice whatsoever.
Technically, that's
right?
how the check engine
You have to make the choice to play that play that card.
Yeah.
Which at that point would be a decision that you made.
Yeah.
Which would then be your skill involved.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, like I'm not trying to take skills away from the game. I'm like, so basically we're gonna go back to like a topic we talked about.
You're reading my mind, Yokohama. We're getting there. Keep talking.
We're gonna go back to like a topic we've talked about before, which is the skill cap of the game.
Okay.
I think the skill cap of the game is lowering. And then I also think that the skill cap for the median amount of players is rising. Like their abilities are rising, not their skill cap, but like the skill at where they're capping at is rising. It's slowly getting better and better, which is cool, which is fine. I still think there's that giant gap between like the mid tiers and like high tiers for them when it comes to like players. Like I think there is a giant gap between like your regular players and your top players. I think the meta between like top players and like normal players is completely different because like it's more skillful at the top, but like luck is still a giant thing that influences everything. Like So like I'm gonna reference Melee because how this started.
Mm-hmm.
Like a few years ago, I say it like within like the last 10 years, there's been an influx of foxes. Fox is the cool best character, does all the cool things.
Yeah.
And then all the new kids focused on was Fox Tech.
Mm-hmm.
They got really good at doing cool Fox things,
Mm-hmm.
but not good at matchups. They were just cool at doing the one thing their Fox does. So you had this giant influx of just Fox players and people who just hated Fox. And then when you get to top, like Fox players aren't super good. Like they're not winning majors. They're just performing very well.
Pulling it back to card games though, like like it's really tough to like. It's fun to start the comparison at a fighting game, but whenever we do end it, we do have this issue of luck because we are given the hand that we draw, right?
Oh yeah,
and that's like
which was about the next point I was getting to is because like I'm watching Summit right now, and one of the topics they've talked about a lot this weekend is how defined that Marth versus Fox matchup is getting, where like perceivably it was 60-40 Marth, and it's getting worse every day as one of the best players who plays Marth is just getting so astronomically good at that matchup that it's just becoming like worse and worse for the Fox players.
And at the same time, like that is all the push that you have of that player practicing at his highest level possible.
Yeah.
Which is where I think that the skill of this game comes in, the refining of your deck, understanding what the cadence and the tempo that you want to play your deck. Like I really want to look at the camera and say I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but like I don't think anybody else could play the Jetta deck that I'm playing better than me. I don't think anybody could play the Amy deck better than you because you have the skills involved. You have crafted that deck, and that is where half the skill of this is.
What's with that face?
What?
Tyler making a dumbass face.
What's your face?
Nothing. I was just thinking.
Did you want it to be your turn? Well, I made your deck, so
yeah.
Hey, there was a time when I made all your decks.
You're right, and honestly, you would have played them better.
Probably.
Not probably. I 100% agree with that. Like you would have played them better.
I am the better player.
And so, what I'm saying is when you pick up a deck, yeah, you can totally be a good pilot and just like have this inherent natural ability. We'll use the word skill to take and just like play the correct cards, find the correct lines. But I think like the big like where the skill at the super highest of levels is making sure that you play to your outs, making sure that you understand what's happening on both sides of the table, understanding
your level 3 rules.
That is what separates. I mean, that is why, and this is a really funny. And hopefully, Ryan fam, you're watching this on the VOD later.
Make fun of me some more, I guess.
What I want out of you. Phil Birch had just won the PTC right after
banning of Tim Keefe.
Tim Keefe got the errata.
The
right? And we
made a giant joke about it.
We were like, blah blah blah, haha. He got an errata and turns around, instantly wins. And Ryan Fam's like, it's not Tim Keefe's fault.
Oh no,
Phil Burgess is better than you nerds. And I was just like, huh. I wonder how much of that is actually true. How much of that is the character, and how much is that the player? Because like when you put if the entire game, let's do this hypothetical, right? Mm-hmm. If the entire game, every single person played the exact same 60 card Tim Keefe list, who would win a tournament? You've got 100 people going to Worlds. Everybody, all three of us, everybody else that exists, we've all decided we're all going to play Tim 3. We've all shared around the exact same Earth, Dumb, Flip Kick, Power Flip, whatever list. Everybody plays it. Who wins the tournament? Who's your money on? You've got a top 8 in your head right now. Those people are skilled. They are better than everybody else. And so the skill has to exist.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so to follow it up, what are those skills? For the nerd at home who is sitting here and listening to us like gospel. First off, patreon.com/TCGU University. $1, man. That's all I'm asking.
Deck building, play decisions. Actually, this is just kind of or mindsets. I think those are the three. Mentality, like pre-game, during game, and mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are like the three big keyest ones.
Okay.
It's like game knowledge.
Game knowledge.
Yeah. What am I good against? What hurts me?
Okay.
What could they be playing? What do they have? What information do I have in front of me that I need to worry about? Things like that.
I think
Is this person making the right decisions that I need to worry about? Because I absolutely think Phil, when he faced me in tops at that PTC, that he probably caught on pretty quickly that I didn't know what I was doing.
against Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which means that he's just allowed to get away with dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like the top 8. I'm trying to remember everybody that's in that top 8. Because like we had you, we had
Me? Oh, I was like,
Tyler.
I didn't top. I lost to Zhang
Tyler,
Hua last round. Got
Michael.
booty bopped.
Yeah, Tyler, Michael. We had the
Zhang Hua.
I don't even know who was playing that.
I don't remember.
Had all my trying to just think of like reputable names that I know.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know Tyler, but I wouldn't put Tyler up in the level with
Phil Birch.
Phil Birch.
Same.
I could give Michael a chance, but I don't know if it's him or the fact that he was playing Yusuke. I haven't decided that in my head. But I think outside that,
Decide right now. He's watching.
like, I want to say it'd be 60-40 Yusuke. Like, I think
You think Yusuke beats Tim?
no, I mean like 60-40.
Oh,
like
60-40 Yusuke, 40 Michael?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think that's pretty good. Like I'm not saying that's terrible. Like Yusuke does a whole lot. Like he's a very good character. I'm not saying that Michael's bad. I just think like Yusuke would carry most of that weight in that matchup, in my opinion.
Right.
Just because of if I was gonna be honest, I'd say it's 70-30 for Tim Keefe and Phil Birch.
Really? You think Phil?
70, yeah. Phil Birch is super good at this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Phil's the 70?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that was the number I was thinking in my head. Is like, what would I say it would be? It would be like, because like I started thinking about like, what would it be? What would Phil Birch's ratio be with his deck? And then I went, what was the top 8 like? Who do I recognize? I remember the All Might guy. I don't remember his name right. Eric, right?
I'd have to believe you.
He's a legendary Wolf player. I'm not like trying to shit on anybody. It's just I don't remember names very well. I have to see you a lot more often to remember names. It's a lucky thing I see Tyler every day. And I barely see Tyler every day.
But
like I was thinking about like
years.
off and on. Sure. Sometimes you go in hiding. You live in your cave. But like, what was the ratio? And I was trying to think about that. I was like, because he did just get the ban, and I still think that Tim Keefe's the best character in this game.
Errata.
Yeah, Errata, sorry. I still think Tim Keefe's one of the most unfair characters in the game, but I don't know if it's like, because like another thing Phil Birch said after that PTC was like something needs to happen to Power Flip or Tim Keefe, and I sort of agree with him because like I think Tim Keefe's just all right. I think Power Flip is kind of what pushes him over the edge.
Let's not turn this into a Tim Keefe conversation.
I'm not. I'm just like I kind of agree with that statement. So I started thinking I was trying to think of like what would the ratio be, and I started thinking about like how much did Tim Keefe kind of control what that top 8 was, and I don't really see him having bad matchups in all of that top 8. I really don't.
At the same time,
Yusuke is just a volatile character, which is why I gave, like, in my head, Michael being the only other person I know that was there, like, sort of an edge, is because Yusuke is volatile and could just go 1, 2, 3.
if anybody in
shotgun.
the chat right now wants to look up and see what that top 8 at that PTC was, I think it might have been Indianapolis. I think
I believe it's in the
Yeah.
I could probably.
I think like the big thing to take away is that I think that UniVersus is just as skillful as it always has been. I think
I think top level, yeah.
I think the problem that people have is that they are not preparing properly for the things that could be conceived as unlucky.
I don't think mid tier is healthy at all.
I am going to disagree with that a little bit.
Okay, I love that.
'Cause-
I would love for you to disagree.
Because then shouldn't Garrett Brett be winning every event?
Well, Garrett Brett, so like,
Go ahead.
no, you're fine.
So I think Garrett Brett has a specific set of skills that he has honed on, and I don't think that, and one, I don't think Garrett Brett is trying his absolute best. I don't think Garrett Brett is out there grinding every fucking week
H-box.
and making making the best optimal choices. I'm not sure that he is using that calculating brain. I think he's coming into events and I think he's showing up and having fun, but I don't think he's trying to go demolish everybody.
He's just having
right?
fun, yeah. Like he's just showing up to show up.
And so that first and foremost, he's not putting on his try hard head.
Mm-hmm.
Or else he would be playing a Tim Keefe. He would be playing this whatever.
Okay, so I got the top 8 whenever you're ready.
And told you. And the thing about skill is maybe Garrett Brett doesn't have the skills. He has one set of skills. He doesn't have the skills necessary to play this other game, right? Maybe he doesn't have the skills to deal with the turn 2 missile launcher. He's not preparing in his deck. He's preparing for a turn 6 missile launcher. He's preparing for the deadlocked missile launcher, as opposed to, shit, this thing has 7 speed, 6 damage, and the character's giving it a bunch of blah, 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 blah. You know? Like, there's so much extra that could be happening. There's more.
Okay, right.
As opposed to, like, if you look at, like, the people that are pushing it right now, you've got your Mark Tyners, you've got your Jacob Johnsons, you've got all of these players. I mean, you've got your Phil Birches, you've got your Shane Duckworths, you've got all these players who are constantly topping, constantly doing a really good job, and I think it's because they are honing they're honing their skills. It is not just jam out a thing and win.
I think that's true for top. I don't for like the top tier players. I don't think that's true for mid tiers. I think,
and so that's where the whole conversation stemmed from is skill available everywhere?
I don't think so. Just for how.
What was that top 8?
Okay, so the top 8 is Tim Keefe,
Quickly.
All Might, Yusuke, Vicious, Goro, Zhanghua, Spike, and Sophidia.
It was all Goro. It was 90-10.
You're welcome.
Josh Hiller says this is a super common conversation for fighting games too. How much does your character, in this case, good cards, carry you versus how much does your skill let you overcome? And so, like, to boil it down even more, I think there is just as much skill in the mid level. I think the issue, I think there's just as much of this skill luck factor in the whatever, but I don't think it's necessarily luck that is stopping them. I think it is a lack of skill that is doing it. I think the luck is the same anywhere that you play. I think you draw the same number of cards. I think you play the same whatever. You make the same decisions. It is the skill that you have to counter your opponent's decisions. That is what matters.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Is like because we have this. Now I was saying we have this 100% right here.
Mm-hmm.
If you take out the skill, it gets filled up with the luck.
But
like because you don't know every situation, which means that 30% that you don't have in skill gets filled up with luck because you have no clue what's going to happen in that situation. But meaning anything good that happens, you didn't know was going to happen. It just kind of happened.
The thing about that is.
We were told that you were wrong earlier. We just didn't mention it.
The thing about that is it doesn't have to be 100% all the time. I don't think anybody's playing at 100%. I don't think it is a 100% skill luck thing. So if you make your deck, we'll say
if you're never playing at 100, so like I'm saying, like the concept is still 100%.
No,
it's like if you play with less skill, the luck fills up the rest of it because you're not playing with that skill.
It doesn't though.
Which means anything that happens, if it happens good for you, is luck. You didn't mean for it to happen. You didn't use your skill to do that.
Sure, but that
luckily happened.
That happens everywhere, right? That exists everywhere.
Yeah.
And so that is a percentage of what's happening because we are playing a card game. But I think what it is actually is you've got this luck factor of I drew this god hand because of randomization of my deck. I think that's the only luck that happens, and as well as the randomization of what's happened to my opponent's deck. I think that's the only thing. Let me finish. That's the only. In addition to that, I've got the skill factor, which I have boiled up to, let's say the game is 20%, obviously they're fake numbers, and then my skill is 60%. I've got this 20 other percent that is just an unknown variable. I don't think it gets filled back up with luck. I think it's just blank, which is
it gets filled up with luck. What's it going to get filled with?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
The game consists of 100% of something.
But it doesn't.
It does.
It is 20% void. It is 20% things that you can't calculate because...
Which would be luck. Anything that happens in that void is a percentage of luck. There's a chance we could get struck by a missile right now, and that's
not true.
It is.
We can't.
There is a chance.
No, there isn't.
There is.
Somebody would have to have launched that missile.
Yes, which means there's a chance it lands here. The percentage...
But nobody's launched the missile. Not possible.
The percentage is still there that it happens.
Sure.
There's a percentage out there where any day you could be killed by a cow. The percentage isn't high. It's still there.
I don't know. We live in Nebraska.
It is higher. It is higher. I get it. But like what I'm saying is like the percentage never changes. There's 100% of something happening at once in our card game. Something's always happening. If you're not using your skill to fill up that gap, it gets filled up by randomization, which is luck.
But you can't have 100% skill.
You can't. No. Because the game is factored in between a piece of luck and a piece of skill.
And here's
so the more you increase your skill, the less luck will be pertained in the game. But if you don't use that skill,
that's not necessarily true though.
Yeah, it is.
Because like bad luck.
Yeah.
I can be playing the absolute best that I possibly could be and still lose.
Because 100% skill isn't going to win a game. You can't have 100% skill. We just said that. Which means that 20% luck is where you lost. If you get your percentage all the way to 8.
But here's the thing.
Max it out.
It's possible that my opponent, as opposed to, they could be playing at their absolute best.
Yeah.
And I could be playing at my absolute best. And we're both playing the best damn deck that we could.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a luck factor that I lost. I lost due to lack of skill. I lost due to the card text.
Now we're doing two different graphs.
But why are they?
The information pertaining
why is
to
it
you
so?
and the information pertaining to your opponent are two different things.
Why is it so bipolar? Why is the duality? It's this or this. It's so black and white.
Because that's the way our game works.
But
either you're meaning to do something or you're not. And if you're not meaning to do something, it's luck. Like,
give me a second. I'm gonna think.
The reason I'm saying that, like, the numbers between what you're looking at, what your opponent looking at, and the percentage of going at each other is different, is because you have to pertain your skill and luck versus their skill and luck and put them together and then do more math on skill and luck. Which becomes a it's like a four-way graph,
which is called a
That's not a square. Nah. We split that pie into four pieces instead of three. Instead of two.
I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is like I don't think that your luck changes at all during a game. Because
that's not true.
Because things have shuffled.
Yeah.
Things have already been shuffled.
Luck always changes. Every time you shuffle your deck, your luck changes.
Totally.
It's the reason putting one card in your deck matters.
I'm not shuffling.
Which means you changed your luck.
I think the skill being overlooked right now is understanding risk. I'm super down for that. Thanks, Josh Ehlers. I'm super down, but like inside of our game, every time that you shuffle your deck,
your luck changes.
Totally. But then we don't do a lot of searching. It's all just discard off the top. Mm-hmm. So your luck is set inside of our match until that number gets changed.
It's not set. Every time you check something, the numbers in your deck changes again, which means every time you make a check, luck changes. Your luck changes every single time you play a card off the top of your deck. Because the numbers in your deck change radically. The chance of you checking a 6 drastically increases if you don't check that 1/6 in your deck. Meaning your luck grows.
We're going to jump off of this, and I'm going to ask one ending question. Okay? Just because like I think we're kind of talking in circles, and I'm not positive we're going to necessarily agree.
That's the fun
but it's fun to sit here and look at
the way we think about things.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Top players, whatever. What is one skill that could take you from a mid-level player to a high-level player? What is one thing that you should be working on?
Game knowledge.
Game knowledge.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Game knowledge.
How does my deck work? What am I up against? What are they making the right decisions?
Game knowledge is 50% of the game we play that's not based around luck.
Quit saying numbers. Quit saying the word luck. We're done with that word.
So, like, anything not doing with the game knowledge is 50% of what we need to know. You need to know...
Quit saying numbers.
So, game
quit
knowledge, numbers knowledge, being able to, like literally number out your deck. How many 6s am I going to check this game? What's the odds of me checking this? Those numbers actually matter. People who are bad at numbers are just going to have to depend on luck. Like it's a thing. Like even if you're good at math, you still have to depend on luck. Like it matters. You have to know like as oddly as it sounds, people being able to play pressure, stuff like that, emotions. Can you tilt people, stuff like that? As dumb as it sounds.
I'm gonna bring it back.
Sure.
So you're saying a bunch of things as opposed to what's something you could do to get better.
Oh, to get better?
Right. Because the whole point was, if we're saying that there is the mid-level is where there is a lack of skill, how do you get to the high level so that now we're all playing a skillful game? He just said card knowledge, which was a great one.
Yeah, game knowledge.
I think my answer was going to be, and I don't think I was going to say it as eloquently as Josh was, but understanding risk. realizing
risk and reward.
realizing what do I have in my discard pile? What do I have in my hand? Where are my numbers at? Like you said, the checking. What are my numbers? What am I going to draw? And then, is this worth it? Is this worth? And use the hard math of this. What does this interaction boil down to? This interaction boils down to me discarding a card on my hand, discarding the top card on my deck, and still taking half damage from this. Okay, is taking half damage of this worth losing quote unquote 2 resources? Possibly more if I check bad. That is the risk reward. That is the most basic interaction, one interaction of risk reward and that was me describing a block. Right? And so looking at it at this really boiled down state and really dissolve it into what is this on the most unsuperficial level? What's at its core state? What is this? I discard a card, I lose the top card of my deck. What interaction happens? Not looking at responses, not looking at whatever. Because there's so many times where I look and like, shit, this reduction's gonna fuck me up. But it's 1 damage. Yeah, he'll get an extra momentum, but I can't afford to lose the card in my hand because the next thing that he plays has 2/2, and I have to respond to my TK masteries before it comes into play.
Yeah, bring it all around.
And like there's plenty of times where somebody will block that thing or they won't block that thing, which is where like
does that momentum matter?
I was beating up bad kids with an Astaroth deck because nobody was blocking Fatality. Because
it's a waste. It can be a waste of a card.
When you boil it down, Fatality says I discard 1 card, discard the top card of my deck, gain a momentum, pick up a 5 diff. That's what that card says. Mm-hmm. But people weren't valuing that.
They were valuing it as 0/0 attack that gains momentum.
Yeah, it's like he's gonna get a momentum. Maybe he'll do something cheeky with it, and I'll pick up this a coffee samba. Well, fuck me, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you need to be able to boil down what is each interaction inside of the game. What the fuck is actually happening? Because we can get really bogged down with enhances and responses and forms and actions and assets, and there's a million cards. There's an entire master's thesis of words just on my side of the board, and I got your side to work with too. Boil it down. What the fuck is actually happening here? That's what I think you need to work on in order to get better. Boil that shit down.
So to not copy Tyler's, because Tyler,
that would be lame.
Like I said, I think Tyler's is 50% of the way we should look at our game. For like trying to get better. I would say rules knowledge. Rules knowledge is incredibly nice. Knowing how things interact, knowing when to trigger TK mastery.
I guess.
I learned something new this week. I thought it was pretty good with rules. NASA or no?
Yeah, I think rules of knowledge will actually only get you so far though, because like.
Oh yeah.
You know who asked Ryan more questions than anybody? Phil Burge. Phil Burge is quote better than all three of us at this table. Mm-hmm. Like
I ask a lot. I ask a shit ton of questions.
I know you do. Well, you're shitty. So
like to the point where I sometimes ask stupid questions to the point where Ryan says, if you asked anybody else this question, they would not know what the fuck you just said.
It's true. It's true. I think to maybe articulate your point better, understand the basic rules of the game to the best of their ability.
Yeah, basically understanding mechanics.
Yeah,
like as dumb as it sounds.
How does a reversal work? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Should not be a thing that comes out of your mouth at a high level.
I mean, I actually say it a lot. But card knowledge will always be my most important skill to get better.
The very last thing we're going to say on this topic is I'm actually shout it out to Yokohama, one of our Patreon supporters who is watching live. I think the most important skill is recognizing how your specific deck beats your opponent's specific deck in each scenario. I think new players struggle with knowing what to do, but they don't think. There's so many times, and I'm gonna shout him out on the podcast. I don't know if he's listening or not. Our buddy Kyle Wright, he lives currently in Texas. Every week. Asterisks. We've been playing just a bunch of matches. We've been playing a bunch. I've been prepping against him. He's been practicing my Zhengguo matchup, and it's been super fun. And I have seen him scoop against me with answers on his board to whatever it is that I'm doing at least 3 times. And after the game is over, I'm like, hey man, I get that you just picked up your cards. You said I lose, which in a tournament setting, we are sideboarding. I'm practicing for this. That's the answer you gave me. You lost. But for your future knowledge, you have 3 cards on your board that
fucked me up.
Why didn't you play those? I didn't think about it. I'm going to I didn't pay attention.
I only do that when we're practicing. I don't do it in the actual.
It's just not good practice. But anywho, any final thoughts on
any practice.
On the word is UniVersus skillful?
Get better at the basics.
Yeah.
Basics are cool.
And fucking practice. Holy shit, practice.
Yeah.
This game is fucking hard. If you want to be an athlete, fucking practice. Practice. Practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
I do practice.
Don't go to White Schwartz. Practice.
I'm trying to run a podcast, Tam.
Anywho. Maybe run a podcast after we get back from fucking Worlds. I would love to take a second for a word from our sponsors.
Is this podcast over, or is it?
Nope.
Is this the halfway point? 'Cause I feel like we've been sitting here.
This is not quite the halfway point.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. We're still going. No, we're plenty over. This last one's gonna be the fun topic. Thanks, Tam, for shooting it over to us. The first sponsor of this week's podcast is InkedGaming.com. Are you looking to get a custom playmat? Well, then we suggest you check out InkedGaming.com. They have custom playmats, dice bags, mouse pads, and much, much more. Shot out of a cannon. James, what would you get on a playmat if you had to pick one right now?
7 swell from Eureka 7.
What is that?
It's like it's the aftermath of like them launching a nuke practically.
I love Nuke.
I love nuke.
I love Nuke.
Yeah.
Technically, it's like a reaction between like a robot and.
Well, you can get it. You can get it on a playmat. What would you get?
I'm Izuken.
Izuken.
Yeah.
What is that?
Stop!
New anime.
No.
New anime.
right now.
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with it.
Is it really good?
It's
It
like
is.
Edda and Eddie the
It's-
anime.
So
It's
it
the
has
way
been
it's described
described
to me.
as if Edda and Eddie was an anime about 3 girls making an anime.
Wow. Well,
It is also made by the same guy that made Ping Pong the animation.
I'm super in. You could definitely get that on a playmat
sure.
with
It's Ping Pong the
inkgaming.com.
animation.
Spider-Man, obviously. They even recently added stitched options to their playmats and mouse pads as well. I've got a couple of these stitched playmats. They are exceptionally good. They're so, so good. Edges never fray, they never curl, nothing. So if you want to get 10% off of your order, please use the code TCG University, all caps, no spaces at checkout, and help support the channel by customizing your game to your style. In addition to Ink Gaming, we've also got Cards Custom Build. Are you in a cosplay? Looking to get in a cosplay? Or you want to show up to events dressed as your favorite character? Well, Cards Custom Build can help. Cards Custom Build creates everything from cosplay accessories like props, trinkets, or weaponry, all the way to full costumes, full stop. James, if you had Cards Custom Build making something right now, what would it be? It could be anything. Full costume or...
It'd probably be Weiss's weapon from Ruby.
Are you sure? Because he could easily make the gun from Gears of War. Easily. The big chainsaw gun?
There's a lot. There's a lot I would want.
Well,
Okay?
give me an example.
Yeah, you got the Gears chainsaw.
Uh-huh.
You got the Halo sword.
Uh-huh.
You got a bunch of things you could do.
He would do some sick stuff with a Halo sword. Just saying. It'd be real, real pretty. Tyler, how about you, man? What would you want?
Something from Steven Universe, I think.
Yeah?
You
Yeah.
get the Steven Universe shield.
The shield and the sword, or like Garnet's gauntlet.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
Those sound hype. Those sound hype. So if you want a cosplay made of perfectly flowing cloth or maybe a rigid battle armor, the new Mandalorian show just came out and finished. Season 2's coming out. He's an expert at making a bunch of nerdy Star Wars stuff. The work is guaranteed to make you the talk of the con. So go over to Cards Custom Build on either Facebook or on their Etsy account. Link will be in the description down below. Make sure to mention that TCGU sent you their way, and you will get 5% off your entire order. Back to the show. Thank you very much, all 3 of us, for doing those ads. The last topic is, guys, if you're live, this is going to be super, super fun. But if we're not live, either this is the sickest call out, this is the sickest reads, or a little disappointing. My question is, we
Or
have
major disappointing when none of us talk.
or maybe one of us gets second place again and busters out. So sorry, Tyler. So, I love you. So,
I die a little bit every time I think about it. I can picture Tim keep sleeves.
so my question, they're in my nightmares. So my question is, guys, congratulations, you have both of you, all 3 of us, we all 3 have just won singles and teams.
That's really weird since we're
Congratulations.
both on different teams.
Congratulations. And we're all not playing the same singles deck. Congratulations. My question is, What does your character do? Now, before we jump into it, obviously this is just a fun exercise, is to get us thinking, and just like it's a really fun podcast topic. What does your character do? And more importantly,
What symbols you got?
what symbols do you got? And what's the interesting thing that you're going to express in the game? UniVersus is a thing of beauty. It's a thing of art. And you get to take and paint your paintbrush on the game. You get to leave your mark. What mark do you want to put on the game? What do you think is missing? What do you think is exciting?
Buy your pen so I can think about this.
Yeah, for sure. What do you want to bring? Is there something that you want to bring back in and hashtag power creep cash grab and put it up? Like, what do you want to bring back? What do you want to do and explore? What symbols represent you? That's the first question. What symbols represent you? You get 3 symbols. What are they?
I'll say Earth.
I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. Earth and why Earth? Give me some explanation. We get to chill. Remember that ad break was the halfway point. We got another 45-minute show to take care of.
Right. The only decks I've ever done good with are Earth decks. Besides Goro, which
I was
was
gonna
a
say
fire
you
deck,
played a
but-
fire deck and won a PTC.
Won a PTC.
I wanted
with a
the
fire deck.
PTC with fire deck, but he had Earth on him. Right?
Hell yeah.
He did Earth things
It counts.
at the time. I don't know. I like what Earth is doing right now,
Which is?
flipping your opponent's foundations and getting stuff for it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm into it. Earth has an identity now, which it didn't really have before.
Back when you wanted to play the game?
Yeah.
It was just kind of, hey, don't hurt me so bad.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was light damage reduction.
Okay.
Light speed reduction, but like nothing that it excelled at.
Okay.
So Earth.
Only symbol you got.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably good.
Okay.
Those guys like to hang out a lot.
Earth and good.
Yeah.
Last one quick.
I don't know what a third one is. I don't want to give it all.
I agree. The all symbol blows.
Yeah. Chaos?
Chaos would be cool.
Think chaos.
Earth, good, chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm into it.
Thinking that.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's technically a small mixture of Amy.
We'll get to you. We'll get to you. And so my question is, so you've got Earth, good, chaos.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? What hand size do you want? What vitality? 7 hand size, 40 life. What are you thinking?
A 7 hand size 40 life would be pretty cool.
I would love to know how you balance it, personally.
Blank character does nothing.
Nope. Not acceptable. You'll win everything. Doing 40s still kind of hard. Especially when you got 7 cards.
I think I'd want to be a 6-hander.
Okay.
Round 30 life. On the high side.
On the high side, of course.
Hopefully. And then I think I'd make my... So, like... I think it's a lot of text, but I want a pseudo Goro thing. Where
Goro 1 dot from
Goro
the
1 dot
from the KOF set. Yeah.
For
Goro.
all you younger boys.
Not...
Well, I'm gonna watch that. You keep going. I'm gonna.
Where if blocked, then do X.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it, like what I want it to be is if blocked, next attack gets plus X or minus X damage. X equals the number of face downs. That's what he does.
You love on block abilities.
Yeah.
When blocks do a thing.
I love on block abilities. I
Yeah.
love when blocks do things.
So my question is, so Goro actually did not have a when I block do a thing. He actually had when they block do a thing. So
Mine would be when anybody.
He's power creeping. He's
Okay.
power creeping. He's
I'm
doing his
power
power
creeping.
creep.
And so when anybody blocks, what happens?
Either plus X or minus X damage. X equals their number of face downs.
For the next one?
Yes, for the next one.
I dig it.
Yeah.
It says that
And
you
maybe a once or twice per turn. Because like infinite, like well, actually, I don't know, because then you wouldn't you would then every other attack you would have to worry about, right? So maybe it doesn't. It would still be a twice per turn. I'd still make it a twice per turn because I think that's too powerful otherwise.
Well, I mean, the thing is like you also haven't told us how you're flipping their foundations.
Sure. I mean Earth.
Be a character.
I think your character has to do it, or else we're not going to get anywhere.
You're gonna rely on your cards too much.
Then
Like, would you play a flipping Earth deck under like Cassie Cage?
no. Okay, then
Yeah.
a once per turn ability. that as a once per turn ability on top of and flipping one of your opponent's foundations. So
here's how I feel. You ready?
Right.
Here's what I want.
mm-hmm.
I want to bring back the real spirit of Goro. What was Goro's third symbol?
It was fire, chaos, and good.
Chaos.
Chaos and evil.
Let's grab some momentum, dude.
Fire, chaos,
Earth.
I want to response after an attack is blocked.
Mm-hmm.
I'll flip a foundation. I'll take the top card of my deck and put it in my momentum. You can flip a card to cancel.
Okay. So I flipped 2.
So my opponent's going to flip one.
Right.
So I'll flip one. I'll grab my momentum.
I flip.
And then I'll flip one its cost so that there's a real cost. And then you I'll read that in a second. It's really long. You can flip one to stop me, and then have your other. I think it should be an enhance that like does this other thing.
Where if blocked, then.
Or you ready? Mm-hmm. You ready? Have it the real Goro response before an attack, an unblocked attack deals damage. Reduce that attack's damage by X. X is the number of face downs. That's your once per turn, and then have it playable. Can't be canceled once per turn. So Dark Charioteer could stop it because you couldn't play the ability, right? But like you can't out of your league, you can't whatever.
The damage you would take, or the damage of the attack.
Damage you would take.
Then Dark Charioteer cancels.
Perfect. And then you say it can't be negated once. Just once per turn. Oh, you've got 6 face downs? I didn't take 6 damage. All right. And then you could have it like a response every time that you every time an attack is blocked. I'll flip one, you flip one. Add one in. Or every time an attack is blocked, fuck it, we don't have to flip one. We want a champion card.
Right.
You can flip a card, or I'll grab a momentum.
And then I'll get errata to where you have to flip a card anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Or discard momentum, dude.
And then you've got that real Goro feeling of, oh man, I've got 30 whatever. How much health did he have?
35.
35? Yeah.
He had the most in the game at the time.
Pushing more like 40, pushing more like 42, right? Well, actually, my once per turn says
it carries.
Fuck you. You don't have shit.
Right. Sure.
And then maybe your check could get, if you've got more momentum, do a thing on block as well. I don't know. Really get that spirit of Goro.
Sure.
I like it. That's cool. All right. You've been writing this whole time.
Yep. I thought you were going next. I thought we were just going in order.
Oh, so here's what I care about when it comes to my character, right? First and foremost, so living in a pipe dream.
Okay.
Living. I understand that
reprint Tamayo Athena.
Nobody. Well, you were so close.
Of course I was.
We are living in a world where if I could,
I'm surprised you haven't played Kevin Broberg.
If I could, I would want to do. It doesn't have the symbol I want. I want the ally keyword on my character card so fucking bad. Mm-hmm. I want it there so bad. I just want it. I want the ally keyword on my character. It's not going to happen.
No.
The other thing that I want is
we got Breaker. Maybe you get an ally.
On a character?
Yeah.
Who?
It's on Torn.
22.
Oh, shit. You're right. You hear that?
He's coming for you.
Oh my goodness. No, there's not. We're ending the show with this. There's gonna be the post show topics, but like this is just fun. It would be. I want to actually put CA back in the game.
Oh, okay.
CA. Yeah. Form add a card to your
staging area face down.
Hand to your card pool or staging area face down, and then enhance my attack gets 2 speed. You can discard a card to cancel, and then form once per turn. I destroy a foundation. You can burn 3 or discard a card to cancel. I think that's really, really cool. I'm not in love with the discard because I don't necessarily want void on my character, although I might be persuaded of that. I'm having death for sure. Death is my favorite symbol.
Yeah, you have the ally on it.
My first, correct. You're absolutely right. Death and ally, for sure. And then I actually, like personality-wise, thanks, Yoko, I want to have the fire symbol. I think I'm a very explosive player. If not fire, have water, and then I want the good symbol. It's because I want to build, and I in Tamron UniVersus, the good symbol just builds for free, right? So death, good, water. That sounds fine with me. Build a card from my hand. I want to be able to destroy a foundation, in order to do something, and then I want some sort of interactivity, destroy choice. I think one of the coolest parts about CA was the fact that he gave them a choice of 2 speed, or you can discard a card to cancel. Oh, you want to discard the card because you want to block this thing? I know you're going to block it. Now I can prepare for that.
I can do
Oh,
things.
you didn't discard the card? Well, then I'm assuming that you're either going to try and block this, and I've got my +2 speed for free, or this other thing happens. I think that interaction is so fun. It is a free ability, but there's that choice. And so,
do you guys have your taglines?
I saw. What's up, everybody?
Your quotes.
What's up, everybody?
What's your quote at the bottom?
No idea.
That's a good quote.
I'm actually like super down for like this attack gets +2 speed because every character that I play has +2 speed.
Yeah.
Also 7-hander, 20 health. I'd also be okay with 7-19 if necessary. +2 speed, and then either I want to with the water symbol. What does the water symbol do?
Right now, stuffs your card pool. And multiples, very easy. 3 damage. Stuff your card pool, 3 damage, multiples.
That's all 3 damage.
What's a way that I can punish them? What's a way that I can punish them? Or your opponent destroys a committed foundation?
So for the 2 speed thing?
Yeah.
You could do, this deck is +2 speed. Your opponent may add the top card of their discard pile to their card pool to cancel. Gives you a pseudo 1 speed. It's there for the entire time. And then it does the thing water wants to do, which means you can build decks around it.
Okay.
If you don't want to play the water symbol, stuffing a card in their card pool isn't bad for you either.
Yeah.
It's like you don't.
So the
lose
thing
anything
is
from
I actually think that's like insane.
it. Oh, I also do. That's why I
I
said it.
think that's nutty for a speed buff, right? If it was
canceling one.
damage, I'd be down. But because I'm stuffing a card in their card pool, that's already speed, right?
That's
the thing with CA,
That's what they want to cancel.
the thing with CA is it was 2 speed, and the speed set didn't matter if they discarded the card, right? Because they said that they needed to block it, but they were getting rid of a different resource in order to.
Yeah.
It said discard 2.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd be okay just to have it back, and just maybe put the void symbol on my character. Death good void.
I was trying to help you, but whatever.
I think putting the card in the card pool is really fucking nuts.
I also do.
Because
Why would it?
I refuse to put twice per turn on my character. I refuse to put whatever per turn. I want this on every attack.
Yeah, I also don't want mine to be twice per turn.
Enhance.
either.
I want to be able to just jam them all out. I don't want the life symbol, because I don't want silly Scorch Wheel stuff.
I want the life symbol.
But like we could do Scorch Wheel Void. I mean, by the time this comes out, whatever is gone anyways. But yeah.
Cool, you ready? Order, life, void.
Oh, I have to destroy one of my things to destroy one of their things. Easy.
Yeah.
Gotta do death things.
Yeah.
Death ally things.
Either that or my attack is 2 speed. You can burn 2 to burn 1 to cancel. Death should make them
give
lose
yourself-
vitality. Death should make them lose vitality. If life gains life, death should take it away.
Sure.
That's the opposite.
Speaking of gaining
That's the
life.
thing. That's the opposite. We got a big puzzle, and this is the opposite
Speaking
of
This
them.
is the one that burns.
Fuck them.
Speaking of
Opposites.
gaining life.
Yeah.
So, okay. Order, life, void. 7-hander.
Order, life, void.
8 Amy symbols.
Okay.
7 hand size. 17 vitality.
17?
Yep.
What a little baby boy.
Man.
Form, gain 1 vitality.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm at max, increase my vitality by 1 and gain 1 vitality, and my opponent discards 1 card.
Whoa. That's kind of nutty.
But it's only if I'm at max. So it encourages people to attack me as a 17 health little boy.
It's form?
Yeah, it's a form. I can only use it once per turn.
So you're actually
sorry, it should be-
18?
Good call.
Should be a first form.
Good call.
Should be
First
form,
four.
So you're-
Oh man, I'm at full life. I'm at 13,942. Did you discard that many cards?
So that first form. Sorry, it's definitely a first form. In my head, it's a first form.
Put your life at 16, please.
16? Sure.
Yep.
Because otherwise you're actually 18.
Yep.
Because you get to do the first form no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fine with that.
I'm sure you are.
I like it. It encourages,
I like it already. Please continue.
I think 17 is fine. 'Cause
Please?
it encourages you to want to attack me on turn 2. Meaning you have to because despite the way I am the lamest person in the game, I love just every turn throwing attacks at each other. I think it's really sick having to play that entire game.
Yeah.
Play mid range the entire game. I love it. Enhance, remove 1 foundation. This tech is plus X damage. If it deals, gain X vitality. X equals the number of copies of the removed card. So under order, I get to do some cool shit with the red eye capsules, which is all I wanted to do. But under any other character, my max is 4. So like I can only give 4 damage, gain 4 life, which means I'm constantly at that. Which means you have to think about that the entire time.
And you have to like it is not a 4 every time that it happens. It's actually like 1s, 2s, 3s. 3s is probably going to be the most that you get because of. I think you should have one thing that says like remove a card from your discard pile.
For
something.
Well, that's what my enhance is.
Oh, the enhance is remove.
The enhance, remove 1 foundation. It should be remove from discard.
Yeah, you should say remove from discard pile.
It should be remove 1 foundation from your discard pile. I don't want it to be attacked. So I think that's lame.
Here's the last here's the last thing for you. Okay. You ready? What if you had a response on your character once per turn?
Sure.
That said response after you block an attack, remove foundations equal to the damage that you take, draw 1 card. Remove from your discard pile, right? So
do you know what I actually want?
Yeah.
Remove foundations equal to the damage I take. Add 1 foundation from my remove from game pile equal with the same difficulty as, or I guess not the same or less, equal to the damage I took. And then I can pick a block, basically.
From your remove from game pile?
Yeah, as a once per turn. I pick up a foundation, which means I slow down my own ability to be able to pick something else up.
You don't get to draw the card then?
No. That's the once per turn ability is, hey, I took damage. I took 3 damage. I'll remove these 3 cards, and I'll add this 2 diff to my hand. But it's only foundations. So like I get the niche of getting to play Nightmare Tears a lot, but like who fucking gives a shit? I don't even like Nightmare Tears.
Missile launcher decks do. That's cool. I dig it.
I don't even really like the response. I think it's cool because you know how much I like drawing cards on damage.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to do.
Like if I could have all 3 abilities, I'd actually just be respond after you take damage, draw a card. Just be simple. Or remove 1 foundation, draw a card. I'm down with it. Continue pumping my ability and draw a card. I'm down. But like, obviously,
yeah.
Being a 7-handed.
Any revisions you want to make to your character?
I'd make my health lower.
What's your health?
I'd actually think it'd have to be like 24, 20. Like,
No.
If I'm able to reduce damage on a response based on your face downs,
yeah,
then yeah.
Become a 5-hander.
I mean, Kurobara
becomes a 5-hander. Just become a 5-hander instead.
But like Kuwabara kind of gives up stuff, and that can be stopped. Like I'd have the Wall of Goro.
What if we said he still had just 30, but it could be canceled? They have to out of your league it. They have to.
I mean, like
they have to blood, sweat, and beers
that's still a little strong.
Let's make a wall. Let's build it up.
All right. I mean, it's never gonna happen, so why not?
All right, assets.
What if it's no longer once per turn, but your opponent can flip another foundation to cancel?
I'm down for that. Actually, no, I don't think.
Because it's Siegfried.
Well,
So
it's Siegfried, except for it's like -9 damage.
Yeah, it's like -9 damage. Oh, you have.
If they don't,
Siegfried
you're
says
all
you're not allowed
face
to increase things.
if they don't cancel, it's playable again. If they cancel, you can't play it anymore. They flip one to cancel. If they don't cancel, you get to play it again.
Sure.
Or if they cancel, you can play it again.
Yeah, if it's canceled.
If it's canceled, you can play it again. Like yeah.
Like if they added it, you're able to play it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, and so
what if it changed to only playable if you haven't successfully played this ability?
Sure, that's fine.
Because that way,
whatever it takes to, if they flip the
card,
card,
I'm trying to actually.
if they flip to the card, we get to do it on the next attack. If they didn't flip the card, we did it. So now they actually have a little bit of the balls in their court. Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah, this one is going to get -6 damage. This one is going to get +6 damage. I'm down for that. Yeah. Asset. What do you guys want your asset to do? I don't even want to talk about my asset. If you guys win, you get to sit here and make an asset.
Life, Tyler. Life.
Sure, it'd be life, earth. Life, earth, void.
It is void because Jeff was at work today and I talked to him. I know what he wants to do.
Ooh, what does he want to do? Give us some.
He wants response before a card Spawns remove before a card enters your opponent's discard pile. Seal it.
For things like
Before a card enters your opponent's discard pile, seal it. So during the transit zone, it is sealed, and then
So Bakugo.
like Bakugo.
Bakugo.
cards.
What other cards is he thinking of?
Future poolside date, the Jetta check card.
Sure. Now, does this
Pure of Heart?
Is this seal for the rest of the game?
Yeah, it was sealed for the turn.
Okay.
It would have to be sealed for the rest of the turn.
Yeah.
You can't just say seal it.
Well, that's what sealing means.
No.
Yes.
Well, no. Sealing only lasts while it's in the same zone. If it changes, so like if you remove a card and bring it back in, it's no longer sealed. It changed zones. It's the reason this won't work right now. Is because the moment it hits the discard pile, it's no longer sealed.
So it
would have to be after a card is added to your opponent's discard pile. Seal it.
well, the thing is that doesn't hit the statics that he wants to hit.
I know.
That's what he wants.
I get it.
He wants to stop your heart once per game. That's it.
I'm down. I'm trying to think about the way to stop it. Because that's not going to work.
That's just what he said. You know whose job it is to figure it out how it works? Ryan.
It'd have to be like seal all copies of that card for the rest of the turn.
Actually, well, for like pure heart, it would work. Because like it says when it's discard from hand, by the time it hits the discard pile, it won't recognize that it was discard from hand. It just refreshes.
So like also you can make a check and then that card is no longer sealed.
Yeah, if you
who cares?
Remove it.
That's fine.
Sure.
That's fine. That's acceptable. Yeah. If you want to do the extra work in order to make that happen.
Well, no. So like, it's really hard.
And you
It's
might,
like if he's just trying to hit pure of heart, that the way you described it works. Because by the time it won't activate when it's hitting the transit zone to the discard pile, it won't recognize it.
yeah.
Because it'll refresh once hitting the discard pile.
Mm-hmm.
If it activates in transit zone,
Yeah.
is the way we're trying to hit it. But for things like poolside data, it won't work because his discard pile refreshes.
What if it was at the enhance level, seal the top card of your opponent's discard pile for the rest of the turn? And now whenever it refreshes.
I have it. Form, man, will that work? It won't work on pure of heart.
What do you want to have happen on your thing? We can fucking. That's what he wants. You figure it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're so close to being done.
I'm a 17 health little boy, Ted. Come on.
Shut up. We're
It
past
might
it.
be. Do I want it to be a flip?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You know it would be fucking sick?
Huh.
If you had Mayfa's Assault on your asset. Enhance, discard 2 momentum, commit all your opponent's face down foundations.
That's what you mean.
That sounds hype as hell.
I think
does
discard
sound
one
hype as
momentum,
hell.
remove it would be pretty good.
discard momentum remove.
The
commit 'em all.
reason Mayfa's Assault says like discard 2 is because you can recur attacks. Attacks are easy to get in your hand.
Yeah.
You get to play more than one copy of them at any time. You can have 2 in your hand.
And it has the all ability to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you, at any point in your turn, you have the ability to have more than just one in your hand. Having more than one of our assets on the board is just not going to happen.
Yeah, because
It's
it has a
gonna have
unique keyword.
Yeah. So like that's fine. We can like discard momentum, remove, commit all your face downs.
Yeah.
Gonzo. So it does what you want.
Discard remove what? Oh, remove it.
Move the,
Okay.
the card, yeah.
Got it.
And then commit all their face downs. I think that's good.
What's life doing? Are they all going to be remove effects?
I'm down.
All 3?
I wanted to keep mine on so I could gain more life.
Well, I mean, you just don't use that ability then. Neat.
So mine was just going to be a response once per turn Patriot stance, but you draw a card. Every time you would gain, once per turn when you would gain a life, gain 1 more and draw a card.
I was actually, so to bring it back, my asset was going to be after your opponent loses vitality, they lose 1 more.
Nice.
Yeah. So if
Me and Tam are on the same board.
if I burn you for 2, I burn you for 2 and 1. And then I was gonna have a way to possibly cancel burning on the card playable by either player. Yeah. But it's gonna be a very big detriment.
It's going to be a cost.
Yeah. And so
I just really like gaining life and drawing cards. I like drawing cards on like damage, which is I like. Man, I wish I could play Eva right now.
yeah.
I wish she just didn't get blown out for not drawing the right things. And removing 8 is such an actual big cost till the not the dark one, but No, not the dark one. Till Inferno stuff comes out.
Yeah.
His 6/6 is gonna be nuts.
What if on the asset that does the burn or whatever, it had like a desperation whatever that said like after an unblocked attack deals damage, gain health equal to the attack. That seems nuts. Maybe the attack's base damage instead of the pump, because I can just imagine that in Scorpion, just being like, ah, man, gain 13. Okay, all right, I'm back to 28. And with it's going to be a static that says the extra burn, and so it's like all the Scorpion stuff says pay 2, burn 3. Mm-hmm. It makes Inferno playable. It makes Cervantes playable. It makes I guess it had the fire symbol asset. It's going to have death for sure. Foshizi, but I have to design it with 2 other people. So
what's her name? I can't think of who's the kick lady, the one I'm basing my
King.
ability. King.
Yeah.
I was like K. K's not right. K's the guy with the white hair, the fire, the nice jacket. I'm trying to remember like what I named all.
Doesn't have white hair, does he? K Dash. He does have white hair. Yeah.
And cool
Is
sunglasses.
that fire?
His hands.
I thought it was just dark energy.
He has the Orochi blood.
Dark,
I believe.
edgy shit.
I believe he's a clone with the Orochi blood.
Any other things you want to talk about character-wise whenever we go and we win this weekend?
Do you know
All 3 of us?
So without looking at this, do you know what I based this second half of this?
I don't remember what it does.
If my tech does damage, gain X. X equals the copies.
No.
I based it off of my 2 dot.
Oh, yeah.
Because her thing was, it was like give it like 2 speed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If it or something like it was give it something. If it deals damage, gain X vitality. X equals the number of characters in your staging area.
Okay.
But that was her thing. She had, but like you didn't play her as that stacker character. You stacked on top of the main character you played.
Yeah.
You played a stacker inside of a normal deck, and not as a stacker deck.
Yeah.
In a non-stacker format.
All right. I think we are going to bring this to a close. So, thank you very much, everybody, for watching out there on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. If you want to catch the show live, please go out to patreon.com/TCG University. $1 a month. You get all 4 of the study halls, and not even the ones that we do on UniVersus, but the ones that we're going to do for Final Fantasy and Magic and UniVersus and White Schwartz. They're all going to be live out for you, all super early, as well as the VODs are going to be out there, so you can get it right away. As well as you get to really interact with us by jumping on our Discord. We've got a ton of activity going out there with deck techs and idea sharing and so on and so forth. So, any last minute thoughts before we go to the post show?
My ability should break health limits.
Yours was my favorite, honestly.
Nice. It's really cool, right?
Wow, fuck you. I'm just kidding. So with that,
Yours is just a repeat.
thank you very much, you guys. We will catch you on the next one. Stay learned.
Get learned.
And learn.
We will see you guys in the next one.